back on the Higurashi stream, and we're gonna be continuing where we left off. I love this opening song. This is an anime's opening song. Let me get to the chorus, then let's start. Let's get started. Alright. We last left off with Mion, and we should get to the Watanagashi way today. Alright, let's start. So Mion seemed to really want to get rid of this lot quickly. From the way she spoke, it seemed as if Mion knew Tomitake-san quite well.
おじさまは今年は渡長島で滞在ですかな?
Oh, wait, my spelling is wrong.
そのつもりだよ。
Oh no, okay, I got the Watanagashi, okay.
お祭りを一通り撮影したらまた東京に帰るよ。
カメラマンってやつは本当に気楽な商売ですこと。早くでっかい賞を取って有名になってくださいよね。今期逃してまで写真撮影に熱中してるんだから。
そんなことはないと思うな。男は味噌汁から味が出るんだよ。
味噌から味が出てどうすんですか、バッチーナ。
おっと、そろそろ宿に戻らないと暗くなっちゃうな。
Tomitake-san began to take his leave with a dry laugh. It didn't look like he was outmatched by Mion.
じゃあお二人ともお祭りでまた会おうね。
After waving a hand cheerfully, Tomitake-san disappeared amidst the cries of the Higurashi.
あんな調子で本当に有名になれんのかね。個展開いたら私の写真展示してもらう約束になってんだけど、当分実現しそうにないかね。
ミオンは富武さんのことを知ってるんだ。
うん、知り合いっていうかほら、ここじゃよそ者はすぐ分かっちゃうからね。
昨日今日会ったばかりという感じじゃなかったな。
富武さんね、結構ちょくちょくひなみ沢に来るんだよ。
Mion.
年に 2,3 回くらいかな。季節の風景や野鳥を撮影してるんだってさ。大した写真じゃないんだろうけどね。
Yeah, those are. Let's not talk about future events this early on. The image Mion painted of Tomitake-san was fairly unique. Tomitake-san I knew was more mysterious. The words flowed naturally from my mouth.
富武さんって本当に野鳥撮影で来てるのかな。
Nice. Mion stared blankly at me as if to ask, "Why do you say that?"
なんかこう撮影以外の目的で来てるようなさ。
Keiichi, you are right on the mark.
そんな気がしないか。
Like about that incident, the dismemberment.
やっぱりそう思う？だとしたらいい感してるよ、ケイちゃん。
She agreed with what I thought, but was quite chipper in how she said it.
知ってるのか、ミオン。
もうね。他のみんなはひょっとすると気づいてないかもしれないけど、このおじさんの目はごまかせないしね。
Mion was posturing pretentiously, but I had easily come to a very different conclusion from what she was imagining. It felt like all the apprehensions I had about Tomitake-san disappeared, lifting a burden off my shoulders. I was finally able to appreciate how clear the evening sky over Hinamizawa was. I exhaled everything in my lungs and inhaled just as much. It smelled like dust.
どうしたの、ケイちゃん。
日暮の声ってさ、こんなにも気持ちいいものだったんだなって。
You said the title.
ケイちゃん何を今さら。
We both continued to giggle, not knowing why.
レナは今頃どうしてるかな。リカちゃんを思う存分可愛がれたのかな。
今頃は夕食を振る舞うから遊びにおいでって誘ってる真っ最中だよ。
うまく持ち帰れるといいな。
どうだろうね。リカちゃんってあれでなかなかうまいから。
ああ、それは同感。頭を撫でる罰ゲーム、あれきっとリカちゃんだぜ。
私も同感。校長先生の頭を撫でられるのはリカちゃんだけだし。
Just pointless chit chat. The hot day felt like it was being cooled down by the cries of the Higurashi. I like it when they do that thing. They show that. Yeah, they also do that in Umineko, but they do it more often here in Higurashi. Umineko is a bit more like seamless, and then Higurashi makes you read this stuff a bit more compared to like Umineko does. Honestly, like I kind of didn't read Umineko's, but I guess that is part of what you should be. You know, Rikishi is trying to get you to actually check out the tips or the hints or profile if you are really interested in actually solving the mystery before the answer arcs. But here he's a bit more forgiving. He literally wants you to look at them, read them up. You know, it's optional, but you know. Anyway. We're nearing the end of the rainy season sooner than in the prior months. On this day, when it feels like summer will soon arrive, I'm pleased that everyone is in good health. The season for the Watanagashi is finally upon us. I believe the assistance of the town council will make this a wonderful festival. I also wish to ask for the assistance of everyone in regards to a few things. Collecting bazaar goods. Villagers are welcome to put their wares on show at the well-received Mizawa Grand Bazaar exhibition. Anything is welcome, from unconsumed gifts to used clothing. No raw goods, please. Management, Makino, telephone number, a lot of X's. Recruiting little festival drum dancers. Oh, the renowned Little Festival Drum Dancers group, known for its careful choreography, the Shofu Society, is taking last-minute participants. We're looking for any showboat, elementary and middle schoolers, which is kind of few of them anyway. Management, Kimiyoshi. Taking donations. We are accepting donations in the multiples of 1,000 yen. For every 1,000 yen donation, you will be awarded a refreshment stand ticket. Management, Sonozaki. We are always taking suggestions for ways to improve the festival. If you have an interesting idea, call Kimiyoshi. Wait. Kimiyoshi. Oh, I thought Makino. Nah, because the third important family of Hinamizawa is Furude. Unless Makino is acting like a proxy for the Furudes. Which is basically only Rika anyway. There is a 200 yen refreshment stand ticket attached below the cut line. That's it. So fast. Already ended the chat. Okay, I ended like in the middle of the chapter anyway. A few days had passed since the incident. During the time, either Mion was busy or Rika-chan had to help with the festival preparations, so we couldn't get everyone together for club activities. Even though I thought I would never want to participate again, after the years it shaved off my life each time, not having it only made my heart grow fonder. I really am not honest with myself. Today we finally had our club activities again. These weren't the same old club activities. It was called the Watanagashi 5 Demon Firefight, and it was one of the biggest events in the club.
ケイチ、この浴衣まだ着れるかしら。
Oh man.
ちょっと袖を通してみてくれる？
Mom pulled out an old dusty yukata.
いいよ浴衣なんて。恥ずかしいから普段着で行くよ。
でもお祭りなんだから着て行きなさいな。
レナとかは普段着でいいって言ってたぜ。浴衣なんか着てったらかえって恥さらしだよ。
I put on the same old vest as usual.
祭りにはレナたちと行くからさ。俺のことは放っておいて大丈夫。
そう？じゃあ母さんは父さんが起きたら2人で行くわね。
Dad let out a loud snore from the sofa.
あの調子じゃ夕べも徹夜かな。
急ぎの原稿をようやく発送したとこなの。ひょっとすると起きないかもね。
Manuscript. I thought it was an I don't know, artist work. It seems my dad writes for art magazines sometimes too. Oh, there you go. I never read it though. I wonder if my dad is a really famous artist. As his son, it's a bit strange for me to say, but I can't imagine he's selling all that well. I don't know, man. He had the money to like renovate a whole house just to become his studio. But he's able to feed the family a tree, and my life isn't exactly full of hardships. Maybe he's actually a master painter, and I just never knew. Ding dong. Uh-oh. It was already time. I didn't want them coming here, so I was planning on leaving early and waiting outside.
あらあらレナちゃん、いつもうちのケイイチがお世話になってまして。
おばさま、こちらこそお世話になって。
Why are you blushing just from meeting my mom?
そこで真っ赤になるな。実に気まずい。行くぞレナ。
Since Rena would continue to space out if I left her here, I grabbed her hand and dragged her out.
レナちゃん、ケイイチをよろしくね。
はいおばさま、ケイチ君はレナが命に変えましても。
Then why don't you do it right now? She waved back even as I was dragging her away.
はいケイちゃん、今日はお腹すかしてる？露店で済ますんだからね。
部活が露天勝負と分かってて腹を無駄に膨らますと思ったかよ。
そうでなくっちゃ。
さとことリカちゃんはもう神社に行ってるのか？
リカちゃんはお祭りの実行委員さんだもん。さとこちゃんもきっと一緒だよ。
そっか。よっしゃ、今日は目いっぱい騒ぐぞ。
We were already in high spirits with just the three of us here. It was way more lively at the Furuta Shrine than the last time I came, far exceeding my expectations. Throngs of people were crammed between rows of market stalls lined with colorful paper lanterns. Despite that, it was actually quite enjoyable.
すげえ人だな。
Not Gundam. I noticed that.
南沢ってこんなに人がいたんだ。
渡流しのお祭りはみんな来るよ。多分南沢の人の半分くらいは来てるんじゃないかな。
Hanbun? Really? It's already hit just half?
それだけじゃないよ。近隣の町の町会や子供会も招待してる。
そうだよな。俺たちの学校あれしか生徒いないのに今日は子供の姿がやたらたくさんある。
お祭りの賑やかさはやっぱり子供の賑やかさだからね。
That's true. I agree.
どうもこんばんは。
These two knew everyone we came across. Of course, I greeted them as well, but I still wasn't familiar with everyone yet.
あらレナちゃん、この間はお惣菜をありがとうね。うちの子も美味しいって喜んでたわ。
いえいえ、気に入ってもらえて嬉しいです。 和正くんにもよろしくお伝えくださいね。
よう、園崎のお嬢ちゃんじゃねえの。今年も屋台担いで来てやったぜ。
Ojo-chan.
おっちゃん太った？今からそんなお腹じゃ果ては心筋梗塞だね。
お、この兄ちゃんは新顔だな。嬢ちゃんの後輩かい？
うちの部員だよ。期待のニューフェイス。侮ると一晩で屋台潰されるよ。
You face.
嬢ちゃんのお墨付きかい。そりゃお手柔らかに頼むぜ。
As you can imagine, Mion was chatting away with the old guys running the stalls.
兄ちゃんは元気いいからね。おじさんたちにすごく人気あるの。
レナも人気あると思うけどな。
I don't know why I chuckled a little.
可愛いし。
That was, of course, so long as her little condition didn't flare up. But as long as she's blushing quietly, she's pretty cute.
レナが？誰に人気あるのかな？あるのかな？
Kana?
誰かにだよ。
I evaded giving her a straight answer by roughly tousling her hair.
露天商は町からわざわざ来てくれるんだよ。やっぱりこういうのがないとお祭りは盛り上がらないよね。
で、それを俺たちは荒らして回るわけか。どんな勝負にせよ、俺は負けないぜ。
そうだね。頑張ろう。ああ、遅いですわ皆様。レディーを待たせるとはケイチさもなってないでございますわ。
おお、そりゃすまんな。で、その待たせたレディーってのはどこにいるんだ？
ワンですって。
Alright, Sadako was in top form as well. She seemed like all excited about being able to get everyone in the club together for the first time in a while.
リカちゃん、かいい。
Rena let out an elated sigh. It seemed that the real lady had made her appearance.
こんばんはですよ、みんな。
None of this.
ケイイチもこんばんはです。いいねいいね。今年も決まってるじゃん。かいい。お持ち帰り。
Rika-chan was wearing a Shrine Maiden outfit. Yup. Rena's little outburst was completely understandable.
リカちゃんの服装は本格派だな。これって本物の巫女さんの服か？
うちのバッチャのお手製。結構本格派でしょ？リカちゃんはお祭りの最後に大切なお仕事があるからその衣装なの。
Oh, I'm surprised Oreo made the Shrine Maiden clothes. I see. Rika-chan was on the executive committee because she performed all the Shrine Maiden rituals for the festival. I mean, she's the
お仕
fruiter.
事はお祭りの最後のところだけなのです。
None of this.
まだまだゆっくり遊べますですよ。ってことはここで時間を無駄にできないということですわ。参りましょう。
よっしゃー。
It felt good to wander around the festival with just the five of us. Mion called everyone over to a stand that caught her attention and proposed a rather odd competition.
たこ焼き早食い勝負。
I need some of that, bro.
各自購入の上。よーい、ドン。
The standard in vendor stalls, the takoyaki stand. What was especially standard for these kinds of events was the fact that they were simply balls of dough. Takoyaki name only. Gotta be careful, Keiichi.
ケイチくん大丈夫？お水。ああ、そんな熱々たこ焼き丸飲みなんて自殺行為でございますわ。作り置きの冷めたやつを購入するのがコツかな。実に美味しくないですよ。
The stall next to it was the shaved ice stand. Oh man, it would be nice to have right now. It was still a bit too early in the season for that, but right then it didn't matter.
今度はかき氷にしようぜ。
Yeah, kakigori.
完食早食い勝負だ。
Nice.
レディーゴー。
かき氷の早食いなんて無理。体温で少しでも溶かせば。冷たいですな。
She got a brain freeze.
甘いね。おじさんはシロップ大盛りで頼んだのさ。混ぜればすぐに溶ける。
Those stooges were too late. The moment they chose to tackle it head on was their downfall.
完食だ。
ケイちゃんが
You're dealing with a dude here.
早すぎる。まさかケイチくん、後ろの金魚すくいのお水を入れたんじゃ。
Oh my god.
実に美味しくないですよ。
Next to that was another old favorite, a cotton candy stand.
次はこちらにしませんこと？もちろん早食いですわ。ねえねえ、わたあめの早食いなんてどうやるんだろう。どうやるんだろう。
On Satako's mark, Mion, Satako, and I compressed the cotton candy with our bare hands. Yes, I knew it. They were gonna do that. The time it took to stick the whole thing in our mouths, 3 seconds.
さとこはともかく、ケイちゃんも気づいてたとはね。
Isn't that the most obvious thing to do?
俺をいつまでも新入部員扱いしないことだぜ。
実に美味しくないですよ。
Rika-chan also crushed it between her hands and stuck it into her mouth.
こんなわたあめの食べ方、きっと日本中でもここだけだよ。
I think only Rena's cotton candy was happy with how it was eaten. But it felt like we ended up doing stuff like eat noodle through the nose contest, humid water pump at the goldfish scoop. Oh my god. At the rate things were going.
それでもおじさんは勝つけどね。白磁気勝負ではミオさんにはかないませんわね。
ああ、まったく。
何あんたたち、次は焼きそばにブルーハワイかけて食べる勝負にしたいわけ？
What the hell is a blue Hawaii? Shake, shake. Both Satako and I shook our heads in unison.
あのさ、今度はちょっと食べ物から離れたゲームにしないかな。しないかな。
Rena's proposal was a godsend. It was about the time we played a different kind of game. It also seemed like neither Rena or Rika-chan were any good at speed eating or gorging themselves.
じゃあレナ、次のゲームをあんたに任せるよ。何でもいい。じゃあねじゃあね、レナは審判だよ。このお祭り会場でかいいものを探してくるの。制限時間は1分。上等ですわ。レナの好みは分かってますもの。
よし、多分あれなら勝てる。
I have an idea, but let's see if it's the same as my idea.
あれ？ケイチ君とリカちゃんはなんでスタートしないんだろう。しないんだろう。
They probably have the same idea as I am. Mion and Satoko dash up madly, but Rika-chan and I calmly stayed right where we were. It has to be Rena, isn't it?
ひょっとしてもう見つけてあるの？かわいいの。
Because if I was gonna have that contest, I'll just straight up choose Rena.
もう見つけてありますです。ケイチもですね。
ああ、
なんだろうなんだろう、楽しみ。
But Rika, Chan, and I stood motionless for the few moments before Mion and Satoko returned.
こういう形で直接対決するのは初めてだな。
初めてしますです。
リカちゃん、あれで勝つつもりか？
僕も部員です。勝つためなら快速第3条ですよ。
Rika-chan sneered to the best of her ability. You're on! But Mion and Sadako came back, each with their own plan of attack stuffed in their arms.
じゃあ順番にね。1番は部長さんのみーちゃんから。
悪いけどいきなり決めさせてもらうよ。おじさんはこれだ。
Where did she get those? They were old diamond-shaped tin cans.
カレーに蚊取り線香、昔懐かしのブリキ看板だ。どう？
That's very understated. A little too understated, Mion. I used to see those things stuck up on barbed wire fences. They were more nostalgic than cute. Can you explain what part of that is cute? But they were puffs of smoke noisily shooting out Rena's ears and nose, almost like a steam train. I didn't get it.
次は私が行くでございますわよ。これでございます。
It was the hand-drawn poster from the Ladies Society roasted corn stall. It was a really bad sketch done by a housewife. An anthropomorphic roasted corn drawn without any sort of plan. Its very existence invited a sense of sorrow to the viewer. That was the sound of blood jetting out of Rena's nose. It seemed to have been rated higher than Mion's. I really didn't get it. It feels like your artistic sense is a little avant-garde by about 5 eons.
所詮は量産看板。手書きには勝てませんわ。
I couldn't even begin to follow the way those guys were thinking.
では次は僕が行きますですよ。
次はリカちゃんか。小道具もなしにどんな手を使うやら。
Did you and Sadako both forget? If Rika-chan felt it, she could simply... After moving back about 10 yards, she began following up to Rena. Seeing that, Bomian and Sadako gasped. Oh man, that's a good trick.
しまった。
Too late. Rika-chan tripped over nothing and laid motionless after falling down. Rena hurried over to her.
リカちゃん大丈夫かな？大丈夫かな？
Rika-chan had a lump on her forehead, and tears welled up in her eyes. Only her fingers peeked out of her sleeves. This was the vital part. The palms of her hands were covered by her sleeves. She made a single sound.
みー。お持ち帰り。
The beeper tries it again.
忘れてましたですの。一番身近な手を忘れてましたわ。
Rena's face went completely red, her head bobbing back and forth with excitement. She embraced Rika-chan and began rubbing her cheeks against her.
さすがだぜ。どこまで取っても一部の隙もない。ちびっこ、みこ、半波だ、みー、完璧だ。ただの苔を萌えにまで昇華した。これぞまさに芸術と呼ぶにふさわしい。
Dear Moe.
ケイちゃんの方がわかんねえセンスしてるよ。
I'll just pretend that sharp sting of those words cutting through me like a razor was a figment of my imagination. Rika-chan turned her gaze to me with a daunting smile, caressed by Rena, who was in full cute mode.
さあ、ケイチ。僕に勝てますですか？
Keiichi, we have the same idea, right? The cold smile is frightening, Rika-chan. It must have been just my imagination, but I see a demon inside her sometimes. You're
ケイちゃ
right.
んにも何か秘策があってのことだろうけど、何を見せてくれるのかな。
私としましても圭一さんのお手並み拝見でございますわ。ひょっとして圭一も芸をしますですね。
Bask in their pointed stares. I pulled Rena, who gave no sign of calling out to cute mode, away from Rika-chan.
はうかいいの圭一くん離して。
今から俺がもっとかわいいのを見せてやるから少し我慢しろ。
もっとかわいいの？
だがここはちょっとギャラリーが多い。
Oh no! It might be worse than I thought!
あっちの影へ行こう。
Oh no! Rena looked very surprised as I pulled her behind the shrine. Oh man, no! This is not what I think! Oh no!
圭一さんの企みが見えないでございますわ。
ケイちゃんに限って、いやまさか。
Oh, I have a feeling he does. Oh no!
ファイト王です。
After a bit, I returned. And a bit after that, so did Rena, dragging her feet.
まさかケイちゃんのやつ、ねんねのレナに変なことしたんじゃ。
Mion and Sadako passed by me, heading straight to Rena.
変なことって一体何でございますの？
For a moment, Rena was too dazed to realize someone was talking to her.
なんだみーちゃんか。
大丈夫？ケイちゃんに変なことされなかった？
レナ、変なことはされなかったよ。かなりの重傷ですわ。
The hell did he do?
圭一さんは一体何を見せましたの？
I have the same question, Satoko.
とっても可愛かったよ。
かわいい？レナ、あんた何を見せられたの？
Rena let out a really long howl. Her eyes sparkled as she spoke.
可愛かったよ。圭一くんの
Ah! I knew it! I knew it! Fuck you, man! That's the worst! Oh my god! Oh my god! Fuck! Oh my god! Fucking hell, man! In the blink of an eye, Miana's Sadako's elbow smashed in the white face.
何？
レナに汚ねえもん見せやがって。
この大関スケごまし
Oh my god!
重複して差し上げますでございます。
違う誤解だ。
A dark, billowing aura flowed from Mion and Satoko. It was no good. They're gonna kill me.
みーちゃん、なんだかわかんないけど誤解だよ。
Yeah, what was that?
圭一
Maybe
くんは
maybe I had the wrong interpretation as well.
オットセイさんのキーホルダーですよ。
Oh. Rika-chan stuck her hand into my pocket and pulled out my keychain.
昔夏休みの宿題で作ったと言ってますです。
Sorry, I remembered the anime and they literally equated the two, but
は 恥ずかしいのでめったに人に見せないとも言ってますですよ。ちっちゃくて可愛くて精一杯頑張ったって感じがとっても素敵だったよ。
なんだ、てっきりおじさんはケイちゃんのあははは
さすがミオさんですわ。間違える方向もワイルドですこと。
They stuck itself at each other. It looked like they're ready to tear into each other at any second. I beg of you, if I'm in the clear, would you mind getting off of me? We were interrupted by a flash of full camera.
やあみんな、相変わらず元気そうだね。
It was Nomitaki-san. As I crumpled on the ground, Mia and Sadako continued to pick her above me. Rika-chan was patting me on the head, and Rihanna was still in cute mode. It was probably quite a lively scene.
こんばんはではございますが、レディーに断りもなくお写真を撮るのはエチケット違反でございますことよ。
そうだな。少なくとも聡子の許可は必要ない。
Sadako dug her heel into me.
こんばんは。明日帰られちゃうんですよね。素敵な写真はいっぱい撮れましたか？
おかげさまでね。いい絵がたくさん撮れたよ。
富武のおじさまに会えるのも今晩限りなのね。お名残惜しいですわ。いい加減とっととメジャーデビューしてくださいよね。
相変わらず口が悪いな。その毒舌もまた半年聞けないかと思うと残念だよ。
せいぜい今夜を楽しんでらしてくださいな。明日の夜にはもう東京なんですからね。
そうだね。星が見える夜空なんてまた半年お預けだもんね。
Nomitaki-san looked up at the night sky cheerfully. At that moment, even though he was smiling, I sensed a bit of sadness.
富武さん、いっそ住めばいいじゃないですか。ひなみ沢。
Nomitaki-san was speechless.
確かに不便なとこです。店もないし、娯楽もないし、何もないかもしれないけど。
Everyone knew what I was trying to say. Nomitaki-san was also well aware. So Rena and Mion, Satoko and Rika-chan, none of them butted in.
俺はまだここに引っ越してきて一月も経たないからよくわからないけど。
Normally, I'm a really talkative guy, but in situations like this, I'm at a loss at words. Even though all this was happening in a boisterous setting, it felt like all the background noise was fading into the distance.
ここにはきっと。
Tomitaki-san rested his hand on me gently, silencing me.
ありがとな、ケイイチ君。ミオンちゃんにレナちゃん、サトコちゃんにリカちゃん。
Tomitaki-san's smile. Slight. It looked as if it was going to crumble at any minute, but it was warm.
僕もここに住めたらきっと楽しいだろうなって思うよ。
Those might have been cruel words coming from a kid who didn't need to worry about working to feed himself. And a hand touched my back. It was Rena.
ケイチ君、大人をいじめちゃかわいそうだよ。
The background clamor of the festival returned.
またしばらくのお別れなんですからね。今夜は富武さんにもたくさん楽しんでもらわなくっちゃ。
When Rena smiled, the mood instantly got brighter.
そうだね。ぜひそうさせてもらうよ。
あ、ねえねえみーちゃん、どうだろう。富武さんを部活に入部させてあげるのは。
That's a great idea. Or so I thought. But Mion had this snobbish look on her face.
入部条件の一つにひなみ沢在住ってのがあるんだけどね。
そんなみーちゃん、今日くらい意地悪しなくても。
コツコツ毎年来てるからね。名誉市民と認定してあげよう。
やったー。さてさて、こんな 旬を過ぎたご老体にこの私の相手が務まるんでございましょうかしら。
Well, past his prime.
老快な大人の知恵を見せてもらいましょうです。
へへ、俺たちの若さについてこられるかな。
Tomitake-san stepped back slightly at our audacious grins.
部長園崎美音の名において名誉市民富武氏の我が部への入部を許可する。
Our words were quickly drowned out by our cheers.
なんだいその部活ってのは。
我が部はだな、複雑化する社会に対応するため活動ごとに提案されるさまざまな条件か、あるいは逆境からいかにして。
レナは弱いからいじめないでほしいな。仲良くやろうね。子供のごっこ遊びと侮るつもりなら好都合でございますわ。
身ぐるみ剥いで地獄の底に叩き落としてやるぜ。
つまりみんなでゲームして遊ぶ部活です。
Of course, Rika-chan was the only one to give an answer that made sense.
よーし望むところだよ。その挑戦を受けて立とうじゃないか。お手柔らかに頼むよ先輩方。
Tomitake-san got riled up and did a victory pose like he was 10 years younger, which is still kind of old for their standards. That's perfect. We continued walking through the festival with Mia on the front, and now we looked like a family of 6. It had some intensity to it.
ルールはいつも通り。ビリにはもちろんお約束の罰ゲーム。
Tomitake-san was a bit surprised, but to us it was just the same as always. Regardless of how terrible a penalty it was.
負けなきゃいいんだからね。
Rena was also praying with determination. She didn't have any intention of losing.
そうだな。
I tousled Rena's hair to lighten the mood. She giggled to hide her embarrassment.
なるほど。これが同心ってやつなんだな。
Seishunda. Tomitake-san whispered that to nobody in particular. At that moment, we heard an old man's call out in a strong voice. Looking over, I realized it was the man Mion had greeted right before the festival.
来たかい。園崎の嬢ちゃん、今年は大人数みたいじゃねえの。
あんたの店根こそぎかっさらいに来たよ。
His stall was a shooting gallery. It was the usual setup where you had to knock down the prize you wanted with a cork gun. It's a gun. Tree. Yeah, okay.
ルールは簡単。3発撃って得られた景品のデカさで勝負しよう。
Everyone shouted their agreement. There was no need to consider how to win, since the condition for victory was simply size. The biggest prize at the stall, it went without question. It was that one, wasn't it?
はあ、あのクマさん、かわいいよ。
Rena was gazing longingly at the large stuffed animal. It was intentionally placed on a steady platform so it was possible to get it if you hit the right spot.
と一瞬思わせる絶妙な配置が見事だな。
さすが圭一さん、一発でカンパすると思いましたわ。
ここは無難にキャラメルや人形を狙うのが定石のようだね。
The intent analysis had already begun. At this club, you'll get eaten alive if you don't come prepared. Everything hinges on what plan you can come up before the main event. At some point, a large crowd had gathered around us, making a big buzz. There was this much of a following for our close infamous event?
クマさんを落とせれば勝利は確定しますですね。
3発しかないんだぜ。それを確かめるために使うには重いな。
へいへい。他のお客さんも待ってるんだぜ。最初のチャレンジャーは誰からだい？
先に挑戦した方が楽な景品を狙えて有利かもしれないけど、鉄砲の癖が見えないうちの挑戦は危険だね。
Tomitaki-san's take on this situation was pretty good. He gets what our club is about.
じゃあさ、公平にじゃんけんで決めるのはどうかな？どうかな？
Kinda.
結局それしかないかね。じゃんけん。
Wait, I'll be right back. Alright, let's continue.
一番は避けたかったんだけど、ハンデってことにしとくかな。おっちゃん、10。
そらよ。
When the shooting range guy handed her a rifle, Mion looked at it over intently. She didn't forget to check the cork bullet either.
オッケー。この銃はおろしたてだね。癖はなし。悪くない。
Mion raised the gun in one swept motion. It was completely different from her careful inspection. She was shooting from the hip. Fire. Reload. Fire. Reload. Fire. Flop. Flop, flop. 3 candy boxes fell, one after the other. A big haul. The crowd paused in a moment of awe, then erupted in cheers. Oh, that's so unison.
やるでございますわ。
Tomitaki-san was at a loss for words after seeing such shooting prowess.
すごいよみーちゃん。3つ。
Her accuracy was incredible. Her choice of targets wasn't bad either. The 3 Mion had gotten after were very large and pretty easy to knock over. They were all targets with a very high return on investment.
2番手は誰？
Oh, that kind of says something about her personality, I think.
さとこ？気をつけて。弾が軽い。
Next was Sadako. The rifle looked a bit big for her little body, but it didn't seem like she had any problem with the weight.
やはりここは大物狙いで行かせてもらいますわ。
She proclaimed she was going after the teddy bear. Damn, Sadako, such a bold move.
クマさんを落とせばその時点でさとこちゃんのトップは確定するね。さとこちゃん頑張れ。
Sadako was the opposite of Mion. She aimed at the target quite carefully and squeezed the trigger.
弾が軽いですわ。
The first 2 bullets struck the bear in the torso, but it only shifted a bit. You need to aim higher towards the head or it won't work. Sadako's 3rd bullet wasn't aimed at the bear, but at the candy box below its arm.
残念でございますけれど、私にクマは2が勝ちすぎているみたいですわね。
She went boldly after the big catch, but she switched over to the less impressive prey at the last second. The crowd only gave a strained laugh. Were they laughing because she lacked the courage? These fools know nothing.
さとこ、いい仕事をするじゃん。腕を上げたね。
I had to remember Ngoshi asked Mion how to shoot. Oh man, the palm of Mion's outstretched hand went poof as he tapped down lightly on Sadako. Oh damn it! Okay. She appeared to just be talking hot air, but this was actually completely calculated. Damn that Sadako. Just to avoid being last place, she dared switch over to an easy target. Without shame or honor. Magnificent.
クマはレナさんに譲るでございますわ。健闘をお祈りしましたよ。ありがとね、さとこちゃん。クマさんかいいよ。
Considering Rena during cute mode is like a superhuman, she might actually do it. Rena was up next. She couldn't hit the broadside of a barn as regular Rena, but she said that bear was cute.
レナちゃんはどうだろうね。一つくらい当たるといいんだけれど。
富武さんはちょっとレナを甘く見てますね。
It's Rena, you know. It's Rena Ryugu, you know. If it was going to get that teddy bear. Tomitaki-san wheeled around to see what all the commotion the spectators were making was about. If it was to get that bear, she'd be able to shoot through a pinhole. The one known as Ryugu, Rena, could do it.
揺れてるよ。かいよ。
Rena couldn't hide her excitement over the bear's slow rocking. No, Rena couldn't lose.
さすがレナさんですわ。冷静を失えば失うほどに
強い。
Another big cheer. Rena's bullet hit the bear's forehead again. Not enough, but the bear seemed to wobble more than before.
でも無理かもしれませんですね。
いやわからないよ。レナちゃんの腕だったらひょっとすると。
While Tomitaka-san was just as excited as the crowd, Rika-chan's analysis was not swayed by emotion. If Rena had 10 more shots, then she could surely knock it over. But it was just one more. No matter how he looked at it, no go. The crowd let out a dejected groan. She had shot it right in the forehead 3 times. It was a bit too late, but they gave her a round of applause for the attempt.
コマさんお持ち帰り。
She could be praised for her valor, but she had no trophies to show for it. Then at that moment, the old man flicked one of the candy boxes with his finger and handed it to Rena.
こいつはジョーちゃんのだぜ。
くれるの？レナに？
How nice.
あんなすげえの見せられて手ぶらで返しちゃ、お天道様に申し訳が立たねえぜ。
There was another shower of applause. Rena turned bright red and I pulled her back over to us by her hand.
頑張ったじゃないかよ。かわいいモードのレナにゃ驚かされるぜ。
惜しかったよコマさん。
It was easy to see that it only needed a little more to be knocked over. Rena had done quite a lot for me. I still needed to pay her back for that delicious picnic.
よっしゃ、そんなら俺が。
僕が取ったらプレゼントするよ。
Whoa, Tomitaki-san. What? Tomitaki-san has stolen the words right out of my mouth. Smooth.
お願いね富武さん。頑張れ。
Damn you, old man, Tomitake. Feeling the good parts for yourself? A small hand stretched over and fell gently on my head just before I was overcome with frustration.
ケイイチもファイト王ですよ。
Tomitaki-san carefully studied the bear. Setting aside, he shouldered a rifle while holding the other 2 shots in his hand.
どういうことだ？
間違いない。富武のおっさんの狙いは。
The time between shots was short. It was meaningless to shoot again once it stopped shaking. So Tomitaki-san was relying on rapid shooting to win the battle. It was visibly wobbling much more than it ever had before. But that was all. And then it still fall over.
残念だった。
All of Rena's momentary expectation from watching it sway quietly turned into a dejected sigh.
結構いけると思ったんだけどな。
Jesus, Tomitaki, you're a military guy, you fucked up. Secret military guy, rather.
男だとキャラメルはもらえないようでございますわね。
That was it. It meant Tomitaki-san had no spoils of war.
つまりケイちゃんとリカちゃんは手堅く楽なものを撃ち落とせばビリ回避ってわけだね。
ビリ回避か。あ、すみませんね。
今度はケイイチ君の番だよ。検討。
I was the 5th shooter. I took the rifle from Tomitaki-san. If I took this route as Neon had suggested, then I'll go for something insignificant. Except, when I picked up the rifle, I definitely got a feeling from it. It was burning passion, passed down to me by Tomitaki-san. The regret of not being man enough to fell the bear that Rena wanted. Yes, that's right. If I didn't aim for the bear, then I wouldn't be a mad.
約束しちまったからな、レナに。
約束ってなんだろう。
あのクマを撃ち落としてレナにプレゼントするって。
それって。
The crowd went wild when they saw our conversation. That's not it. Fine men of the crowd fit into this. Then Rena might mug the old man running the stall on his way out. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. Why can't I just express my honest feelings?
ケイイチさんも男を見せますのね。でも実際どうやってクマを落とす気ですの？
Oh, not again.
レナや富武の玉で幾分傾きはしましたですが、難しいと思います。ケイイチくん、
もっと素早い連射力があれば一撃ごとの揺れにパワーを上乗せできるのに。
頑張ってケイイチくん。
After taking 2 deep breaths, I shouted over to the
鉄
guy.
砲もう2丁貸してくれ。
Huh? The crowd murmured amongst themselves.
ケイイチさんは何を企んでいるのでしょう。一人じゃ3丁は使えないですのよ。
読めたよ。ケイちゃんも考えたじゃん。
Mion was able to figure it out magnificently.
つまり一番時間がかかってるのがこのコルク玉の装填なんだよ。
そうだよね。じゃあ先に弾を詰めた鉄砲を3つ並べておけば。
Tobitaka-san went silent, peering at me and the bear through his lens. His photographer's blood predicted a miracle will occur, and the crowd finally picked up on what I was planning. They let out a great cheer. They chanted my name, Keiichi. Rapid fire is the key. If I miss, all is for naught. Phew. After letting out a deep sigh, a breath, I pause. Relax. Imada! Oh shit. You know, last time I heard the sound effect, it was in Umineko. So I had like an Umineko moment just listening to this. Anyway, that moment, it felt like time itself had stopped. I felt like I could see the trajectory of the bullets. Hit it. And knock it down. The first shot hit the bear on its head. The second, the third. The bear swayed hard. And then... Ooh. He got it. Nice one, Keiichi. The cheers began before the stuffed animal even finished falling off the shelf. The guy caught it before it hit the ground and tossed it over me.
まさか本当に落としやがるとはな。乾杯だぜ。
すごいや。おめでとうケイチ君。
ケイイチさんも頭を使えるようになりましたわね。
And that's why he becomes a politician.
少しは見直しましたですな。
俺一人で落としたわけじゃないぜ。みんなで当てて少しずつずらして落としたんだ。こいつは俺たち全員の戦果だぜ。
Oh, natural charismatic dude. I wonder what his future job will be.
そうそう、全員の力の結晶だね。
ミーは一発も当ててませんです。
After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Rena.
そうだ、こいつは俺から、いや、みんなからだな。いつもうまい弁当ありがとな。
Rena, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless.
ダメだよケイイチくん。だってこれはみんなの。
じゃあ落としたのは俺だから、これは俺のだからレナにやる。
I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time she embraced and accepted
俺が
it.
引っ越してきてからいろいろ面倒を見てくれたよな。すげえ感謝してるんだぜ。ありがとな。
Considering the opening scene, oh my god.
ケイイチくん、ありがとう。
Rena drove at me. Mion told me a few days later that Rena kissed me, but I didn't realize that during all the excitement at the time. Wait, what? I remembered what I was trying to say to Tomitari-san earlier. There really isn't much of anything here. But there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot coming to Hinamizawa, especially at that moment. Crowds cheer echoed on and on. From the altar set up front of the shrine, the drums sounded with a booming echo. It was the finale of the festival.
じゃあ僕はお先に行くですよ。
おっと、僕も早く行っていいポジションを確保しないとな。じゃあみんな、後ほど。
But Rika and Tomitake-san gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd.
二人ともお勤めしっかりでございますよ。ささ参りましょうでございます。
うん。リカちゃんのあで姿を見に行きますかね。行こ
あ、あれレナは何やってんだよ。
ケイチくん、兄ちゃん助けて。
Since she was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal, she was being carried by the flow of people. What is she?
何やってんだあいつ。熊の世話で手一杯なんだな。
う。じゃあケイちゃんにはレナの世話を頼むかね。私はサトコの世話で忙しいし。
Huh.
誰がミオンさんの世話になるでございますの。痛い。手引っ張らないでくださいまし。
This is kind of strange considering what happens in episode 2, but we'll get back to that. Or maybe I'm missing something out here. Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Rena's collar.
ケイチくん、そこ違う。掴むとこ違う。
注文のうるさいやつだな。どこならいいんだ。
I didn't feel ashamed at all. Rena was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed into Rena's hand and dashed after Mion and the others. Wow.
置いてかれる。
Smooth.
早く行こうぜ。
I hadn't realized Rena's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition? That wasn't what I meant. Not at all. My ear is burned. I tried to keep calm and I repeated the phrase, "Keep it together, Keiichi Maibara," in my mind, but it didn't look like I would be able to be anytime soon. I really didn't want Rena to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. There was already a large crowd of people gathered at the shrine, at the altar in front of the shrine. The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday and just as hot. There was a pile of futons warded with sanctified rope in front of the altar. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did something with the cottons and the futons.
ケイチさん、レナさん、こちらでございますのよ。
Sadako waved her hand from the front row.
お、すまんすまん。
Making our way through the mass of people, we reached the spot they saved.
どう？ちょっとはレナとドキドキできた？
やっぱりてめえ、そういうつもりだったのか。
Instead of replying, Mion gave me a pervasive grin.
レナはどうだった？ケイちゃんの手って意外に大きいとか思わなかった？
I heard a punch. Rena turned bright red, puffing up steam shooting out of her. I heard something slash through the air. I turned around to see Mia on the ground with a welt on her face. I like how she punched her.
ミオン、お前いつ食らったんだ。
ハウのハとウの間くらいだったかな。
レナ、照れ隠しに友達を殴るのは良くないぞ。
レナ、殴ってないよ。知らないもん。
Thump. The thunderous beat of the drums echoed, silencing the crowd.
お静かになさいませ。始まりですわ。
Here we go. It was a solemn ritual. Rika-chan entered as a shrine maiden, followed by the members of the municipal committee. The elders all looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomitake-san's camera.
リカちゃんが持ってるあのでかいのはなんだ？
祭事用のクワだよ。巫女さんしか触っちゃいけない神聖な農具なの。
It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment, not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached a pile of batons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe skillfully, plowing it into the futons. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual.
今度はなんだ？布団叩きかな？
あれはね、人間に代わって冬の病魔を吸い取ってくれたお布団を清めてるの。
ケイちゃんのお布団叩きって表現もまあ外れじゃないかね。
Rika-chan's face was already dripping with sweat. The hoe was probably really heavy. She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. Sataka looked on, silently lending her support.
心配か？
リカは毎日お餅つきの杵で練習してましたですの。きっとやりきるでございますわ。
Sadako's hands were sweaty, and whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath.
ミオンとかは巫女役立候補しなかったのかよ。リカちゃんにあの重さは気の毒だよ。
He doesn't know.
そりゃ頼まれりゃやるけどね。まあ誰にでも務まるものでもないし。
そうだよな。ミコは清らかじゃないとダメだもんな。
Neon drove her elbow into my side. With the thud of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause. After the Shinto priest had raised up the cleansed batons like a portable altar, all the spectators stood up. Following after the priest, we all marched on to a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line.
今度は何が始まるんだ？布団を川で洗濯か？
だから綿流しだってば。
The procession continued right up until the bank of the stream. Fire was stroked high, and it was bright as day here too. People started crowding around it and clamoring.
はい、順番。並ぶよ、ケイチ君。
I wonder what was up. Maybe we would get some holy wine. Red and white bean buns?
食べ物じゃないよ。だから、
Wata. Ah, but of course. They didn't call it Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the batons and balled it up like mochi, handing it out to people. Renard drove into the line and brought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to the bank of the stream.
ケイチ君は初めてだから、レナのやり方を真似するんだよ。
She held the cotton in her right hand and waved her hand as if to purify it. She touched it with her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs.
これを3回繰り返すの。心の中では、お社様ありがとうって唱えるんだよ。
Oyashiro-sama.
お社様ってなんだよ？あの神社の神様の名前か？
ひなみ沢の守り神様なの。ご利益もあるけど、たたりもあるんだからね。ちゃんと敬わないとダメだよ。
That sounded like a pretty frightening god. Oh well, but in Rome. Was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now, after all. Doing as Rena showed me, I touched the cotton over my solitary times. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Yes, Rena's handy.
これでね、体についてた悪いのがこの綿に吸い取られたの。で、あとは沢の流れにそっと流してね。おしまい。
Together, Rena and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all the bad illnesses from Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd seen on TV. The best part, though, is feeling like this rite of passage had made me feel like a true resident of Hinamizawa. Oh, nice. Next chapter, then. At
初
first,
め
I,
はちょっとした不安だった。誰かを傷つけたいなんて考えもしなかった。それでも不安は孤独を生んで疑念へと変わり、やがて黒い殺意が心を闇に閉ざしていった。戻らない日常。少年は足を踏み出す。その先が奈落の底だとも気づかずに。
Onikakushi.
信じたいと思う気持ちが生んだ悲劇。流した涙は懺悔か、それとも怨恨か。
And technically, we just started Onikakushi. Oh yeah, this is gonna be like Umineko all over again. While staring off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Rena. I wasn't very lonely though. I know this place now. This is where I live. My home. It's probably better if I stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Somehow, someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomitake-san's. I headed towards it.
どうですか富武さん、いい写真はいっぱい撮れましたか？
ああ、おかげさまでね。
Tomitake-san was with a girl. I felt a little like I was intruding.
圭一君はどうだったかしら？
I had to remember the fact that she was introduced without any sprite earlier. It was so weird. Because it's supposed to throw you off, like, that she was important.
お祭りは楽しめた？
From the way she spoke, it seemed like she was a resident in Nemizawa. I really should try harder to remember people's faces here. What was her name?
その楽しかったです。
My face must have given it away how desperately I was trying to remember her name, because she gave a light-hearted chuckle.
圭一君はまだ引っ越してきて日が浅いんだそうだね。他の子たちととても親しげだったから、とてもそうは思えなかったよ。
But that's how it looked. It was probably all thanks to Rena and Mion.
あなたも今日のお祭りに参加して自分がひなみ沢の人間になれたんだって自覚できたんじゃないかしら？
What the hell? No, there was a delay with like the lip sync and the vocal line. That was a weird bug.
どうなんでしょうね。
おや、圭一君らしくない返事だね。
Wait, what was that? What's happening? Why is it like that? Let me actually open up the game and close it. That is weird. Let me open up the game really quickly. Why was it doing like that? There was a delay in like the voice line and the lip sync. It really bothered me when it happens.
おや、圭一君らしくない返事だね。
No, it's still there. I tried to get used to Hinamizawa, but there was still plenty of things I didn't know. The faces of people I'd meet, for example. Things that had happened in the past as well.
なんだ、その程度のことで君は疎遠に感じていたのかい？
疎遠なんて大げさなもんじゃないですよ。ただなんていうのか。
That incident at the dam construction site, the fighting over it, and other conflicts. That was a terrible accident they pretended they didn't even know about whenever I brought it up. Even though it was in the past, as someone living in Hinamizawa, it wasn't wrong to want to know about the good and bad that happened there.
それを知ることで君が納得するなら僕の知っている範囲で何でも教えるよ。
It's good that you have an idea what he's thinking about. Tomitake-san's smile made me more relieved than I had ever been. It was hard to think of what to ask when someone asked me anything, though. Even when that was so much I wanted to ask.
じゃあダム工事について聞かせてください。ひなみ沢が水没するとかいう大事件だったんですよね。
ダムについては多分ここの人に聞いた方が詳しいと思うけどな。ま、僕が知っている範囲でいいんなら。新聞で読んだ程度だけどね。
Tomitake-san's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke.
ダムの計画が決まったのは7、8年くらい前なんだ。黒部に次ぐ巨大な計画だったと聞いてるね。
There were three major issues in Japan at that time: improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus they provided on top of generating energy and flood control. Hinamizawa had the right conditions to support dam construction, so it was singled out.
ダムの完成に伴って生まれるダム湖はかなりの面積になったらしいね。このひなみ沢からずっと上流の矢後地あたりまでが全部沈むことになったらしい。
しかしなんだって人が住んでるひなみ沢にもっと他の人が住んでないところに作ればいいのに。
よくは知らないんだがダムを作るのに適した地形ってのがあったって聞いてるね。
Of course, there were protests here in Hinamizawa. Rika-chan had said that they had fought. From the choice of words, I had to guess that things had turned violent.
裁判にもなったし議会でも取り上げられたんだ。東京の新聞にも載ったよ。
Mion had told me all about that as well. I'm sure every resident of Hinamizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity found here, which could not be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by that battle.
で、いろいろな不祥事や汚職が発覚してね、ややこしいことになっているうちに工事中止が決まったんだそうだよ。
If I wanted to know, now was my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about. I felt a little shame from the fact I was petty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Rena and Neon's refusal to talk about the event. But I figured I might as well ask since I had the chance, just so I would stop thinking about it too much.
バラバラ殺人ってありましたよね。
あったよ。偶然その時期にひなみ沢にいてね。だからよく覚えてるよ。
Oh, Mio would know a lot about that. Tomitake-san's answer was nonchalant in contrast to my hesitantly forced out question.
ちょうど4年前の今頃だったかな。あれも確か渡流しの日だったね。
Debate on whether to continue construction on the dam was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. The incident that was the final nail in the coffin for the dam project. A fight at the dam construction site ended up with the victim being murdered. Fearing prosecutions, the 6 assailants divided the remains into 6 pieces and hid each one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in and out of guilt, but one was still on the run. The right arm he had hidden had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I'd read earlier. It was certainly a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Rena and Mion needed to hide it from me. I guess they didn't want someone who just moved here to have a negative impression of Hinamizawa. I felt grateful for having friends who worry so much about me, as well as ashamed for being so interested in it.
当時はダムのトラブルの末期だったからね。お社様のたたりだって言って随分騒がれたんだよ。
お社様のたたりか。
Oyashiro-sama was the name of the god at the shrine that held the festival today, if I recall correctly. I see. The guardian deity rained divine punishment down on the evil dam construction for trying to flood Hinamizawa.
若い人たちはそうは思わなかったみたいだけれど、
Just know that when there's a special CG, it's something important.
お年寄りたちはお社様のたたりだと疑わなかったみたいね。
The woman with Tomitake-san chuckled mischievously. Tomitake-san began laughing with her. It was so infectious I ended up laughing as well.
でも今ではどうかしらね。結構いるんじゃないかしら。若い人にも。
いるって何がですか？
信じてる人だよ。お社様のたたり。
The woman's lips were still curled into smile, but her expression turned stern.
その後ね、毎年起こるんだよ。決まって今頃にね。
怒るって何が？
Tomitake-san paused for a second as if to build up some suspense. Then he whispered to me, as if someone might have been listening.
毎年綿流しの日になるとね、誰かが死ぬんだよ。
Suspense.
バラバラ殺人の翌年の綿流しの日、ひなみ沢の住人でありながらダムの誘致派だった男が旅行先で崖下の濁流に転落して死亡した。
Rena's dad.
奥さんに至っては死体も上がってない。
Rena's mom.
ひなみ沢の人間でありな
Oh
が
no
ら
no!
ダムに賛成していた
Sadako,
男
sorry.
ですから
Sadako's
ね。
dad and mom. Sorry. I forgot Rena's dad is still alive. Rena's mom is a cheater. Sadako's dad. Sadako pushed her dad and mom. Oh, by the way, this is a spoiler stream.
事故当時
I should really
お
put that
年
in
寄
my
りた
stream
ちは
name
お
title.
社様のたたりだと
I'm
ささ
spoiling.
やきあったものよ。
The woman chuckled mischievously again.
さらに翌年、綿流しの晩、今度は神社の神主が原因不明で急死した。
Rika's dad.
奥さんはその晩のうちに沼に受水自殺した。
Rika's mom.
神社の神主って今日のこの神社の神主ですか？
The woman nodded.
村人たちはお社様のお怒りを鎮めきれなかったんだって噂したわね。
Considering related how related Neo is, you know. Sorry, I was distracted for a bit.
さらに翌年、これもまた綿流しの晩、今度は近所の主婦が撲殺体で発見された。
Housewife? Up until now, all these mysterious deaths were involved in the dam or had connections with Oyashiro-sama. With that in mind, could the housewife have been involved in some way
そ
too?
の通りよ。
The woman stated slightly. No, it was more menacingly.
被害者の一家はね、その2年前に転落死したダム誘致派の男の弟一家に当たるのよ。
Oh, I remember now. Oh shit. Oh my god. I had to remember this one. This was a good one. I'm not gonna talk about this. Although I spoiled the first two earlier, this one's interesting. Right?
弟
So,
本人はまだ生きてるらしいね。でもやはりかなり気にしてね、近隣の町に引っ越してったらしいよ。
younger brother? Oh, I remember now. Okay. For a while I stood there with my mouth agape. Gap. The battle over the dam construction, with Hinamizawa's future at stake, and the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew, and that was all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't all there was to this story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental deaths, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't really want to believe in curses, but the freakish deaths happen every year on the day of Watanagashi, and all of them were related to the dam construction. It was easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves. But when you put them all together, dismissing all of them as coincidences would then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year, on the day of Watanagashi, somebody or something makes it happen, without fail. The woman chuckled again, as if she picked up what I was thinking. It felt like she was saying, maybe there was. Maybe we frightened him. Something like that. I felt embarrassed at being read so easily. I pressed Nomitake-san to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my tone.
で、その翌年の綿流しの晩にもまた人が死ぬわけですよね。今度は誰です？
さーてね、圭一君は誰だと思うかな？
The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off.
はぐらかさないでくださいよ。俺は結構真剣に。
まあまあ圭一君、落ち着いて。
I realized when she tried to calm me down that I had been panicking.
別にはぐらかしたつもりはないんだよ、ケイ。つまりその翌年の綿流しってのは、つまり
今日よ。
When Tomitaki-san hesitated to say it, she finished for him. I broke into cold sweat. I really didn't like the direction this was headed.
みんな口にしないけど、今夜また何か起こるんじゃないかって思ってる。
こんなにお祭りで賑わってるのに？
あのね、去年の被害者の主婦は不審人者だったらしくてね、綿流しのお祭りに参加しなかったらしいの。
今年の綿流しに参加しないとお社様の怒りに触れるかもしれないって噂、圭一君なら聞いてるんじゃないかい？
I never even heard a whisper of that rumor.
じゃあみんなのお祭りの参加はたたりを恐れて？
そうなんじゃないかと思うね。今年の綿流しは例年になく参加者が多いよ。
やっぱりみんな怖いんでしょうね。お社様のたたり。
Oh man, I know Mia's voice for some reason. I recognize it. Could it be? Give me a second. Oh! I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. Jesus. Ah, man, that's why I knew the voice. Aside from saying like Taiga or something, we're talking about Eva Ushinomiya here. I mean, Taiga was already like, you know, but then we're talking about Eva Ushinomiya. I couldn't utter a single word. In this modern age, where we made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and misunderstood, the black and white television had been eradicated, and we sent men to the moon. Even with all of our accomplishments, this can exist in modern society?
桜ってことで近隣の町の子供会をかなり招待したらしいけど、やっぱり一連の事件を受けて あんまり参加はなかったみたいね。
Mm-hmm.
人集めに苦労してるって町会の人がぼやいてたもの。
警察もね、過去の事件は全て別個のもので関連性はないとしてるみたいだけどね。
I mean, that's the correct way to think about it.
警備ってことで私服警官をだいぶ立たせてたみたいだよ。
How did they know? It finally began to dawn on me why Rena and Mion were reluctant to talk. Nothing happened during this Watanagashi. Everything would have been over with, and I had none the wiser. If nothing happened, all would be well. In that case, it would all end up being just crazy talk. I should have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then they wouldn't have to act like nothing happened. We would have all gotten back to life as usual.
やっぱり刺激が強すぎたかしら。
The woman ran her fingers through her hair as she sighed.
いえ、そんな全然。
I had tried to act strong, but that just served to emphasize how much information had unsettled me. After seeing how I looked, Tomitake-san appeared to regret saying anything. Letting out a sigh, he then spoke, forcing an awkward upward demeanor.
まさか圭一君、たたりなんて信じてるわけじゃないだろう。
そりゃまあ。
全ての事件が原因不明で犯人も手口も謎っていうなら僕もたたりを疑ってもいいよ。だけど実際には違う。どの事件もちゃんと警察が捜査して真相や犯人を究明してる。
Hearing him say please made me feel a lot better. It was perfect for repelling the word curse.
例えば一番最初のバラバラ殺人言ったよね。犯人は一人を残して全員逮捕されてる。
Yeah, but what happened to the other perpetrator?
残った一人だって時間の問題さ。動機だって酒の上での口論からと判明してる。たたりなんかじゃないだろ。
That was true. If it didn't happen on the day of Watanagashi, then I wouldn't have think it was related to the curse at all.
次の誘致派の夫婦の事故死だってそうさ。恨みを買う立場だったからね。警察が特に入念に捜査したと思うよ。それで発表は事故。他殺じゃない。
でもまた渡流しの日に起きたんですよね。
考えてもみなよ圭一君。ひなみ沢に敵が多かった彼が地元のお祭りにおちおち参加できると思うかい。彼にとっては渡流しの時期は特にひなみ沢に居づらい時期に違いないよ。だからわざわざこの時期に旅行をし、意図的にひなみ沢を離れようとしたんじゃないかな。
It wasn't a very clear example, but I sort of understood what Tomitake-san was getting at. So I pressed on earnestly, asking more questions so that I could convince myself.
じゃあ富武さん、その次に死んだ神主さんはどうです？原因不明の奇病だって。それもまたしても渡流しの日に。
Mio, could you tell us about it?
神主さんはもっと説明がつきやすいよ。渡流しのお祭りは神主さんにとっては年に一度の大行事。あるいはもともと持病持ちだったのかもしれない。
でも奇病ですよ。でもこの医学の進歩した時代に原因不明なんて。
尾ひれだよ。噂が噂を呼んだだけさ。2年立て続けに事件が起これば誰だって過敏になるよ。急死は確かに不自然だったかもしれないけど、こういう死に方をすると必ず警察が検視をする。で、事件性は発見されなかったんだろう。本当に偶然の病死なんだよ。
確か神主の奥さんが自殺してますよね。じゃあこれは？
すでに説明した通りさ。3年目の事件に村人たちは動揺していた。信心深い人たちはすぐにたたりだと決めてかかったのさ。もちろん神主の奥さんもね。自殺の際に死んでお社様の怒りをお鎮めするみたいな遺書が見つかったらしいし。
じゃあ次の主婦の事件は？
That's so bullshit, man.
またしても渡流しの日に。
この事件は犯人も逮捕されて解決してるよ。一種の異常者でひなみ沢のたたり騒ぎを面白がって再現したと自供してる。
じゃあ 次の年の事件は
Damn it, Keiichi. Oh yeah. This year is the next year. Tomitake-san gave a hardly laugh.
もう何も起こらないよ。今度こそね。お社様のたたりなんてもともとない。一連の偶然をあると信じている人たちがそうだと吹聴しているだけさ。
When internal computer finally got itself back on track, I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish it had become after losing control and panicking.
僕は圭一君がひなみ沢をとても好きだと思ってること、仮にお社様のたたりが実在したとしても、そんな圭一君にたたりがあるなんてとても思えないね。
Who knows? I felt very relieved. I should probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Rena and Mion tomorrow with the same smile as always. They'd probably also like tonight to end without incident, so they can continue on tomorrow without having worried me. Perhaps, seeing my change in attitude, the woman who had been listening in stretched as she got up from the rock she was sitting on.
さてと、そろそろ私は戻らないとね。
おっと、僕も少々長くおしゃべりしすぎたかな。
There were so few people compared to the crowd from before. I could only make out a few groups of families enjoying the cool evening air. I looked at my watch. It seemed we'd talked for the better part of an hour.
圭一君もお友達と一緒に来たんでしょ。みんなを探したら。
そうだった。みんな俺のことを探してるかもしれない。
女の子に探させるなんてなかなかの罪人だね。
じゃあね、おやすみなさい、圭一君。二郎さんもね。また後ほど。
Tomitake-san seems to be quite a scoundrel himself, so his name is Jiro. After dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up the shrine grounds.
ケイチくん、ごめんなさい。
In her place, Rena came running over. I could see all the others behind her. Speak of the devil.
悪い悪いケイちゃん。すっかり話し込んじゃっててさ。
I completely forgot about. What is this? After the serious conversation, so he gets start yawning. Fuck. I think it's dinner at 8. Maybe I should end stream here. I might continue. I might continue early in the morning tomorrow. Might not be so bad. Anyway, I do hope you guys enjoy watching Higurashi stream. I know I'm taking this too slow. I'm still stuck at episode 1. I should have been finished at this by last week or something, or at least more than halfway. But been busy a lot. Anyway, I'll stream again maybe later or tomorrow. Let's see. But for sure, I'll try to do a stream tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy watching, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. The next stream. Oh man, I still have to do Genshin, but I think I'll figure that out later. No. Well, that was kind of interesting. They didn't introduce Neo for some reason, but it should have been obvious by having like a special CG, you know. I just wanted to listen to this song. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys on the next stream.